Hello, today's video is about interesting things I've noticed while doing Sepulchre for my Max Fashionscape series. If you don't know, Sepulchre is a unique agility training method only accessible after completion of Sins of the Father. You can access the different floors at different agility levels, and they range from pretty easy to whatever you'd call this. It can be confusing navigating through the Hallowed Sepulchre at first, and since you're on a time limit, you probably don't want to stop to see all of the Easter eggs and fun things Sepulchre has to offer. So I'll show all of them in this video for those of you who don't want to take the time to explore, or just don't have the level or skill to reach some of the floors. There are a lot of interesting examine text within Sepulchre. The knight statues that throw swords are actually each type of ghost knight you can occasionally encounter, which I'll talk more about later. On the southern path of the second floor, where the crossbowman statues are at, a wolf statue sits behind them. Sometimes a bowl of water and bones will spawn next to the statue, maybe an offering? You can find a Hallowed Tome by investigating the skeleton in the lobby. It comes with the first page of the book, but you can obtain the last 5 pages by doing Sepulchre. They're a 1 out of 10 chance from coffins, and you can only get one certain page on a particular floor. So floor 1 has page 2, floor 2 has page 3, and so on. Fortunately, you can't get duplicates, and if you lose your Hallowed Tome, it comes with the pages if you've stored them in it before. The Hallowed Tome seems to be a journal of a human falling for an Icene. I hope they were buried together at least. Back in Sepulchre, there are various inaccessible stairs and coffins, but the most interesting one is the room behind the Grand Coffin. Obviously, in-game the stairs don't actually lead to anything because you can't get to them, they're just there for lore purposes. But I wonder what they lead to in Sepulchre lore. There are a lot of really cool NPCs in Sepulchre. On the 3rd floor, a blue owl appears, possibly a ghost because it looks kind of transparent. There are a couple of Darkmeyer slaves you can encounter at random. One is found trying to open a coffin and says the mysterious stranger in the lobby told him he needs 100 marks to buy his freedom. If you have 100 marks, you have the option to give them to him. Very wholesome. Though if you do this, he'll still appear and tell you, "I think you have me mistaken for someone else." Also, an interesting fact is that his character model has a beard, but his chat head doesn't. The other Darkmeyer Slave is a non-interactive NPC found on floor 1 sometimes. Jin and Cassian are both references to the main characters of the Star Wars movie Rogue One. They both wear robes and are found trying to loot coffins. Jin's examine text says, "There aren't many adventurers down here, perhaps she's a rogue one," while Cassian says, "It looks like he's gone rogue." When you talk to Jin, she loses her lockpick. If you have a lockpick, you offer it to her. Jin says she has extra and tells you about the rogue's outfit and says she's only wearing it here because it's stylish. Honestly, I don't blame her. Cassian seems a lot less knowledgeable than Jin. Collector 890 is sometimes found on the 3rd floor trying to loot a coffin. He has a giant squirrel and says he's trying to earn enough marks to buy a dark acorn. You can actually use a dark acorn on his squirrel, but it says you shouldn't feed someone's pet without their permission. If you have a dark squirrel, your dialogue is a bit different. Fish Runner 82 can be found on the 3rd floor just before the stairs. He complains about the obstacle downstairs. Apparently he took an arrow to the knee and is taking a break to heal. His entire character theme is centered around Piscarilius. He has the blue Piscarilius Graceful, the 82 in his name is the fishing level required for anglers, and obviously his name can be referenced to Piscarilius. West Side 49 is occasionally found on the 3rd floor. She tries to dodge the arrows poorly at first, but eventually gets through the obstacle. West is a reference to SpongeBob. After going past the arrow obstacle, she'll say one of these lines at random. This character's name is a reference to Rooty Tooty Point and Shooty. She repeatedly fails this trap, and I guess that's all she does. I stayed here for a while to see if any of her dialogue would change, and it doesn't. Mad Melvin 96 was in a cutscene in the 2019 Halloween event, and now he's found at the end of the 1st level of Sepulchre. His examine text reads, "Watch out, he's an absolute unit." When you talk to him, he asks for a grapple and acts a bit cocky. If you don't have a grapple, he calls you a noob. If you have a mithril grapple, you tell him he needs 62 range to make it across the gap. If you have a hallowed grapple, you say you can't give it to him and he still calls you a noob. There are several different ghost knights you can encounter while opening coffins. If you don't have a ghost speak amulet, you of course can't understand them. There's a 1% chance of encountering one of these ghosts. Afterwards, you can see them in the lobby with a ring of visibility. Here is what the dialogue looks like if you talk to the Knight of the Lion with a ghost speak amulet. Here's the Night of the Owls dialogue. Here's the Night of the Unicorns dialogue. Here's the Night of the Wolves dialogue. The Archpriest of the Unicorn can only be found while looting the Grand Coffin and still has a 1% chance. And here is his dialogue. That's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully you learned something interesting today and I kept you entertained for a few minutes. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow.